Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of Emotivation. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about something else that came up at work in conversation with my manager, and I just found it interesting. So I just thought, I'm going to talk about this and just see where this goes. Once again, I have no idea how this video is going to pan out, but we'll just see. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. Basically, what I want to talk about in this video is this idea of playing the game in your job or in a corporate environment, or whatever kind of job you might be doing where there's a sort of hierarchy. um there's levels of progression, there's people on top of you. You get the gist. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because basically I was having lunch with the manager on top of me, randomly. I don't know why. Usually we don't really have lunch together. I feel like, to be honest, I don't get why we would, like, we work together and she tells me what to do. But I feel like outside of that, we I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I feel like most of the time, most people don't really want to have lunch at work with their managers, or the managers themselves. I don't even think they want to have work. Like, I don't think they want to have lunch with the people working underneath them. But that's besides the point. This was just one random occasion in which we ended up having lunch together, and it was an interesting. It was an interesting it led to an interesting interaction where we actually had a chance to sort of, like, talk to each other in a less formal setting, actually get to know each other on a more personal level, and just have a real, like, conversation about how we feel about work. So it got to a point where, obviously she's been managing me for, at that point, for about a month now, and she's starting to obviously she started to see the type of work I am. Basically, I could tell that, at this point I already knew that she probably don't think I'm the best type of worker. She could probably tell that I'm not really that enthusiastic about this job. And I guess we got to a point where she was trying to give me advice on how to be better at the job, and how to have a better sort of a better career trajectory. Career. So it's basically giving me advice on how to have a better career trajectory in this company, which, on one hand, I appreciate. She's trying to give me advice based on what she feels like is going to be in my best interest. But at the same time, there was certain things she said, and one thing in particular that she said that really didn't sit right with me, and that's basically what I want to talk about now. Basically, there was a point in the conversation where she she looked at me very sort of like disappointed and said, you need to play the game more. And basically, what I understood from that, especially as we discussed what she meant by that in more detail, basically what she's trying to tell me is that I need to fake it more. I need to act more enthusiastic about this job. I need to I need to be more proactive, go out my way more to have visibility in the office, sort of like just do the most. I basically think she was getting on to me because I'm not begging it to all the senior managers and doing the most to try and impress them, which I think is quite ridiculous. Because why would I need to do that? At the end of the day, I get paid the same amount every month, and yeah, okay, it might increase my chances of being promoted in the future, but realistically, I don't care about getting promoted. I don't want to be in this situation where I'm working a 9 to 5 job I'm not passionate about for that long. I'm just kind of here to get paid, and I'm gonna. This might this might sound crazy, but I think I'm happy to just do the bare minimum to basically not get fired, and get paid every month. That's it. And it's not like I'm an absolutely terrible worker. I'm not gonna go the extra mile, break my back, and really, like stress myself out, like, to go above and beyond to impress senior managers so that they like me more, and they're more likely to give me a promotion. And that's another thing I don't like about, office life, the corporate world. It's the fact that, you're not really judged or rated completely on how good you are at your actual job, on how well you perform your actual day-to-day tasks. Like, I don't think the people who climb the corporate ladder the highest are necessarily the people that are best at their job. It seems like you're actually more judged by how much the senior managers like you, how what it's all sort of based on what sort of relationship you have with these seniors that are in in power. Essentially, they're at the top of the hierarchy in whatever company you're at. And when I started to realize that, I just I know, I can't remember exactly when, but there was a point where that became very apparent to me, and I knew that's not really what I'm here to do. That's not really what I signed up for. Like, yeah, obviously getting promotions is good because that means you can get paid more, and you have more money to do the to put like to afford the things that you want out of life. And even if you're, someone like me or the other people that I know, someone who's, right now doing a 9 to 5 job because you have to, but you're working on your own things on the side, and you're using money from your job to fund those things. um yeah, I guess even in that sense, getting promotions is important because the, the higher your salary increases, the more money you have to spend on those things. But I feel like for the most part, there's only so far I'm gonna go to play the game and try to climb the corporate ladder, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna sacrifice my true authentic self. I'm not gonna put on a fake persona. You know, f- I'm not gonna like fake my identity and be someone I'm not just to get more money. At the end of the day, I've already got the job. I already, I already faked. I already did enough faking in the interview process to, to get the job. Do you know what I mean? There's only so far I can go. I'm not gonna now every day be someone I'm not, and and act like super enthusiastic about a job that I don't really care about. I just care about it. I'm really just doing it to to pay the bills realistically. So that was just something I found interesting, something I was thinking about. And another thing that it really got me thinking about was just the difference in mentalities and approaches towards work between sort of like the older generation and the younger generation. Because my manager, who I was having a conversation with, I'd say she's around the age of 30. I'm not exactly too sure, but yeah, she's older than me. Um, I guess she wouldn't be classed as Gen Z. I'm not really too sure on how the breakdown for that works, but whatever generation I'm in, whether that's Gen Z or millennial, I don't know. I'm 24. I feel like there's definitely a significant difference in my generation's attitudes towards work versus the generation literally just 5 to 10 years above us. So those people that are like 5 to 10 years older than us. Um, it definitely seems like my generation are a bit more. I say we're a bit more aware of the fact that a job is just a job, and like there's no point giving your life to a job. There's no point fully like there's no point being super committed to a job, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us now know a lot of these jobs, a lot of these companies don't really care about us. They will they will get rid of you if they have to. They will do layoffs. They'll do redundancies. This is something I've seen in my own company. Like, they will do layoffs. They'll lay you off. They'll get rid of you if that's what the business requires. At the end of the day, then they're not your friends. Like, this is nothing personal. This is business. But I feel like it goes both ways. Like, I don't come to work to make friends. Yeah, it's nice if I make friends, but I don't come to work to make friends. Like, I go there to get paid. Why do I have to now, like, play the game and and do the most to be liked and be seen in the office when at the end of the day, like I get paid either way, and I feel like for me it's a thing where I feel like this is how most of our generation sees it. Um, the main reason why we're working is to get the money we need to pay the bills. So as long as we're working hard enough and doing our job well enough, that that criteria is being met and we're not at risk of getting fired and stuff like that. Anything extra that doesn't that isn't necessarily needed to keep the job and make sure you keep getting paid on a consistent regular basis, I just feel like most of us don't want to do it, and I think that's fine. I actually think that's fair enough. I guess what I was starting to deep after that conversation was that maybe it's not even necessarily a thing about whether you're in this, like, in my generation. I think that's Gen Z. Maybe it's not about whether you're Gen Z or millennial, Gen X or whatever. I don't know. Basically, it might not necessarily be about the different generations having different attitudes. Another thing I was thinking was maybe the older you get and the longer you stay in these 9 to 5 corporate jobs or whatever, the more you start to lose your sense of self and your self identity, and the more you feel like your life is about climbing the ladder at your workplace, and the more, I don't know, I was thinking like it really, I was actually a bit I was actually a bit concerned because it's actually making me feel like maybe the longer you stay here, the more you get brainwashed and feel like you know you should be doing, you should be giving your life to these jobs or whatever. Not that that's completely a bad thing. I definitely believe in hard work, and I believe in whatever 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 institution, wherever you find yourself in life, whatever you're doing, you should put your best foot forward and do a good job. But I think there's levels to it. There's a limit. I feel like I don't think it should ever come at the cost of your actual true identity. I don't think you should be someone you're not just to get by in these jobs. I just feel like, yeah, definitely do a good enough job that you're not you're not a liability to your place of work. But above that, I don't think you have to now sell your soul to literally, I don't know, play the game. I don't even know what that means. Like, maybe that's not even what I'm talking about now, isn't what she necessarily meant by playing the game. But that's what I think when someone's telling me to play the game. Like, I don't come here to play games. I literally just come here to get paid, and I'll do whatever task I have to do. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna like pretend to be someone I'm not, and make fake friendships with certain people because they might be a senior and they might be able to give me a promotion later down the line. I don't know. I just found that interesting. But yeah, because I was actually starting to realize perhaps the longer you do stay in these fields, the more you lose your sense of self, and give your life to these jobs and forget who you really are and what you actually really want out of life. I guess it made me realize the importance of right now in the present moment, like constantly dedicating a certain amount of time and effort on a regular basis to actually getting yourself into where you actually want to be in life as soon as possible. I actually think is way more important than we realize. Not just because about maybe chasing goals of financial freedom or making your dreams come true or whatever. It's like I feel like you're at risk of losing who you really are deep down when you stay in these environments for too long, because I guess naturally, because everyone else is doing it, and that is what it seems like is needed for you to do to get by and thrive in these environments. Eventually, you might just succumb to the status quo in these places of work, and yeah, you literally might start ending up becoming one of these people who think like life is about work and doing everything you can to progress in these workplaces. Again, this is not to demonize work. I think work's important. I think I've outgrown this idea that oh, we all need to quit our jobs and chase our dreams. But I still definitely believe that, there's more to life than work, and it's really important that you find a way to make a living doing something you're actually passionate about, and even better, you find a way to make a living working with the type of people you actually want to work with, that you naturally get along with and want to be friends with. I think it's important that you find a way to to do work in an environment that naturally suits you and actually allows you to be yourself. And I think it's important that, you know you find a way to do work that's actually meaningful to you, that you genuinely, like, authentically want to go above and beyond in and do well in. um which is why I'm sort of like trying to trying to do all this, like, content creation stuff, because I deep I don't want to keep, you know having to force myself to do things that I don't really want to do just to make money. So I mean, I want to find a way to make money doing something I actually care about. I know, like, when it comes to making money, there's always going to be an extent of things you have to do which you don't really want to do. But regardless, I still think it's important to find a way to make money, to make a living, doing something you're, for the most part, passionate about, and actually willing to do most of the things that, whatever that way of making money might involve. Okay, that was a bunch of waffle again, but yeah, I'm literally just trying to put out more and more videos as much as possible. I'm trying to put out more authentic videos, just talking about this weird stage of life that a lot of us are at. I think most of the people that will end up watching this, very few people, but it will be mostly people in my age range, because it will mostly be people. Basically, the only people watching this are like my friends at this point. So most of them are my age. So yeah, I'm hoping um, a lot of you might be able to relate to this, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, or send me a message or whatever. And yeah, if you like videos like this, I'm gonna try to put out more stuff like this. So yeah, thanks for watching, and in a bit. Fucking hell, what the fuck was that? Oh shit.